Well, hello, folks. This is Bob Safel, and I'm very excited you're all attending our webinar tonight. We have actually, in I would say the last 24 hours, you've had two bombshell things occur in the crypto world, and I will be going over them tonight. These are like hot off the press, and they are all this news is fantastic, but two big things. I'm going to take a little bit of time explaining in layman's terms what one of these factors means. It has affected dramatically Bitcoin pricing and altcoin pricing as well. So it's had a very significant effect just in the last 24 hours, and I will go over that. But before I start, I always like to make sure you can actually hear me. So first thing we're going to do, you just go up to your right-hand side on your screen, just click on your little hand on and off, so I can see that you can hear me clearly. I seem to have solved the problems we were having a few weeks back, and that's always a good thing. I see those hands moving up and down. That is fantastic. Okay, so I just want to remind everybody the purpose of us being here really is to go over really two things: trends and news. And trends, I kind of break that out into several areas. I talk about legislative trends, what's happening worldwide in terms of legislation in this whole crypto digital currency world. I also like talking about the trends on securities law, and that's going to be a big piece of news tonight. And then last but not least, I like talking about, like, what are I'm going to start calling them application trends. How are people using digital and cryptocurrencies? Like, where's the ship running? Where's it going? What industries are being affected by cryptocurrency and digital currency? So I kind of like talking about those areas, those type of trends. And then, of course, the other thing we do talk about is technology, and we will be getting quite a bit into, well, a key aspect of the cryptocurrency world. So that's kind of why we're here, folks. And without further ado, let's get into the news. But in order to understand this particular news, I'm going to have to go over a term, and that term is hash or hash functions. Okay, so that's what we're going to go over, and like I said, I hope it's not too arcane here, but I want to get something defined with you. What is the hash function? And essentially, this concept of a hash function is it's a mathematical process, and it basically takes an input of data. And in terms of Bitcoin, the input of data are numbers and letters. It takes an input of data and then performs an operation on it. It does something to it. It changes it. And in the case of Bitcoin, it changes it by encrypting it into a fixed size. And I don't know if the fixed size is 26, 28, 30 characters, but it's a fixed size. Now, why do you have a hash function? Well, because Bitcoin's all about taking letters and numbers and encrypting them. Okay? So it's that process of doing that which takes time, and it takes storage capacity. Okay? So essentially, that's what Bitcoin is all about. It's called a cryptographic hash function. Okay? And once again, it's the system, when there's a transaction that occurs, or there's a coin that's freshly baked and ready to go, it's got to get encrypted. So that's what the hash function is. Now, why is that important? Well, since Bitcoin was first released in 2009, the hash function has been increasing and increasing and increasing because there's been more Bitcoins, more people using Bitcoins for transactions, more buying and selling. Therefore, you're going to have this hash function. And just to say again, this function is taking letters and numbers that occur during a transaction and converting them into an encrypted form. All right. And the hash rate is the number of these functions that happen on, per second, per minute, per hour, per day, per week, per month. And that hash rate has been going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And obviously, more and more people are now using Bitcoin. We're now at 30. I forget the exact number. I think it's in the high 30 million wallets out there now. So this hash rate's been going up and up and up and up and up, and it got up so high that it was literally unprofitable to mine or operate as a miner or a Bitcoin miner. Literally, it cost money. The energy output to be able to, because remember what miners do. Miners don't just essentially birth Bitcoins. They don't create Bitcoins on every 10 minutes. That's not the only thing they do. Miners are also part of the process of validating and verifying transactions. That's the hash function. Okay? So that's part of their job. Well, it was costing so much in energy that the cost of the energy exceeded the cost of the Bitcoins or the money the miners were making. So you had a significant number of miners drop off, but also don't forget, I've been reporting on a series of innovations that very well could also be reducing the cost of energy and the overall cost of operating as a miner. So what happened in the last, literally, I don't know, the last 24 hours, 48 hours? Well, this hash rate has stabilized. All of a sudden, it's stable. And, I don't personally know, is this, well, there's one factor, you have less miners, okay? But with less miners, logically, the hash rate should be going higher, wouldn't it? Logically? I don't know. I think there's a lot more we need to learn about what exactly is occurring. But here's what's happened. The price of Bitcoin has been soaring for the last, I'm going to say, 36 hours. It's gone up almost 30%. If I got my numbers correct, let me see. Almost 30%. So the price of Bitcoin has gone up almost 30%. And other altcoins or alternative coins have been going up as well. And we're going to have to inspect this a bit more because there may be another factor that's been creating this sudden jump. And that factor is the next piece of news. Here it is. So this has just been reported 2 hours ago. And this is really, 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 really significant. In the U.S. Congress, a new bill has been proposed that would exclude crypto from securities law. Bam! Now, that's about as big as it gets, folks. Okay? So there is now a law in front, and by the way, it's bipartisan. Okay? That means a Republican and a Democrat put together this act, this piece of legislation, which seeks to exclude digital currencies. Digital currencies. I didn't say cryptocurrencies, because crypto is inside of this general bucket called digital currencies. So this law that's been now proposed was introduced to exclude digital currencies from being defined as securities by amending the Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities Act of 1934. Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds on this and read you the section, but in reading this, here is what I'm coming away from. You know, it's all about the money, folks. It's all about the money. And if you watched, and you've been watching the bill, this bill that was just proposed today, follows a congressional crypto roundtable, okay, which was held by one of the congressmen, and here's the key line. I know you're just going to love this. Over 45 representatives from major Wall Street firms and crypto companies told lawmakers that there is a pronounced lack of regulatory clarity for initial coin offerings and digital currencies, and that's what they want to basically handle. Okay? Now, I just can't tell you how significant this is, because it lets me know, and I've been talking about this for literally weeks. I said, follow the money, watch what the investors are doing, watch what the venture capitalists are doing, watch what the funds are doing, watch for the pension funds. What are they doing? Forget what people say. Forget what I call, what the fake news media says. I am just telling you here and now, if you still keep on seeing major money flows coming into the crypto and the digital currency world, and they're coming from every major source of big money, from Wall Street to, pension funds to this, that, and the other, venture capitalists, and all of a sudden, magically today, a law is proposed that basically excludes cryptocurrencies and digital currencies from securities law. Folks, I'm telling you, you just have to watch the money. And if you do that, you're not going to be, you're not going to be one of the lambs that are slaughtered, okay? You're going to be one of the wolves, okay? I want to make you guys wolves. And we're going to keep on watching this. But this is such a significant thing. And I can tell you, what I'm going to look for is, there right now, as you all are probably aware, the government is spending more than it makes. That's almost an understatement, isn't it? When I say the government, I'm not just talking about the United States. It's all over the world. And what politicians are always doing, they're kind of looking for two things, and it all revolves around money. This is what I've found, and this is agnostic, folks. Politicians are looking for two things. They're looking for money to raise for their campaigns, and they're looking for money that gets them into office and keeps them off. Okay, just break this down into two pieces. Politicians are looking for money to get themselves in office and keep themselves in office. Pretty simple. And politicians are looking for money in the form of taxes, so that they can then turn around with that tax money and pay off their pals and pay off their friends and pay off their constituents and basically stay in office. So if you understand those two things, you understand the mind of a politician. So right now, politicians are always looking for what's the next new bucket of money. Now, all of a sudden, you've seen, I'll give you two examples, not related to cryptocurrency. You've seen, at least in my view, and the view of many people, you've seen across the United States, the decriminalization, in fact, legalization of the sale of marijuana. Well, why do you think that happened? Do you think it's just because the altruistic nature of the people? No, it's because there's taxes on it. Colorado has made a fortune on taxes on the marijuana industry. I'm not talking a small amount of money here. I'm talking about a huge bucket full of money. So follow the money. The second thing that happened is that you saw across the United States the legalization of online betting, online gambling. Well, what do you think's happening now? Well, guess what? Taxation. They're making money. So when you're looking at the cryptocurrency world, where last year you had, don't hold me to this, I believe it's $3 trillion of worldwide trading. That's a huge, huge, huge cash cow for politicians. So why in the heck would they want to cut this area? Why would they? Why just step back for a second and ask yourself, why would they cut off this gigantic place for them to tax some people, make some more money? The answer is they wouldn't. So it's almost like I warn you, don't run into the foxhole the minute you see some bad news from the press. The press is being manipulated. They're either being manipulated unknowingly, which I'm sure is some of the case, or they're being manipulated, and I say no unknowingly that they don't know they're being manipulated, but in many cases they are right in there being manipulated, and they know they're being manipulated by powers that you do not see. So this is very significant, and we're going to watch this. And as I say, the timing is always interesting with these cats. Always interesting. So that's a big piece of news. Let's go to the next huge piece of news. Western Union considers crypto, and they've now partnered with Ripple to test blockchain payments. Holy mackerel! Another big piece of news. Western Union is probably the biggest transfer agent of wealth on planet Earth. Did you hear that? They're probably the biggest. I'm sure they're the biggest. And if they're talking about using a currency, a cryptocurrency, for wealth transfer across borders, because that's what primarily Western Union does. I mean, yeah, they have people that send money back and forth inside the United States and inside other countries, but they're primarily about moving money across borders. So, Western Union is not a small company. Okay, folks. So once again, you have to understand, why is this significant? Well, let me tell you something. You don't think they've got all their ducks in a row by now? Do you think they just make that announcement just out of, something? Let's go ahead and get a cryptocurrency going. Yeah, the president of the company just rolled out of bed and said, something? Let's go ahead and do some cryptocurrency. No, it's been a plan of theirs for quite some time, right? And now they have, they've got their ducks in a row, i.e., they're paying lobbyists. Their lobbyists, their lobbyists are lobbying who? Politicians. And they're making sure that cryptocurrency is legal and clear and clearly understood in terms of regulation. So out pops this news, and this just came out. So you're seeing some huge signs, big signs where the industry is going. Now let's turn to another big country. So if you take a look at countries that are, in the banking world, heavily in the banking world, a lot of them typically right now are connected to the UK, United Kingdom, United States. And another huge country has just made a major announcement. Oh, Australia. Now, all of a sudden, Australians can use crypto debit cards at 30,000 ATMs and up to 1 million payment terminals. 1 million payment terminals? That's a lot of payment terminals. So, why is this significant? Well, Australia is one of these core countries that, you know, frankly, they try to get. I know Australia, of course, is a sovereign nation, but they do have some pretty strong relationships with the UK and the United States. They do. There's a big trading relationships, and I am sure there was a lot of coordination before Australia would allow the wholesale opening up of banking platforms, 30,000 ATMs, 1 million payment terminals, suddenly to be opened up for crypto debit card use. That just doesn't happen and this is 11 hours ago, folks. That's what I'm saying. You've had huge news, bam, 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 in the last 24 hours, 36 hours. So, once again, I can't stress the importance of these kind of pieces of data, particularly for people who are really early in this whole digital crypto world. So what does this tell you? If you guys are holding any digital currency or cryptocurrency, just hold. Don't dump. Don't sell right now. Hold. Hold on. Don't make any moves. And by the way, I'm just going to say this for the record. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not. Let me say this. I'm going to hold. Let me say that. You can do whatever you want. I'm not trying to give you advice, although I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. So my own strategy is to hold. That's what I'm doing. So that's the news. Those are big news items for today, and literally in the last 24, 36 hours, this stuff is hitting faster than you can imagine. It's like bang, bang, bang. And I'm just watching the news come over the line right now. All right. So let's go into our second topic. I am supposed to give you a very important update on what's happening with Celebrium. And then lastly, have I got a prize that, you never know, could be worth a whole lot of money in short order. We'll see. And it is related to Celebrium. So let's talk about Celebrium, where we're at with Celebrium. Celebrium was launched, and it was one of the smoothest launches of a new technology and a new platform I've ever been associated with. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's unbelievable. I got to tell you, we did it the smart way. We started out with a small group of folks last week on Friday, the initial people who had bought blanks. Then we increased the number of people that had access to purchasing Celebrium collectibles, and we did that. We started late Saturday night, so we gave our initial folks almost 2 days. I only said 1 day, but I gave almost 2 days of being able to convert their blanks. And then we opened up even more people that we know on Monday. And then Jenny lowered the boom on Tuesday. All right. So let me just show you what she did. And she is going to be posting twice. Okay. So her first post occurred 2 days ago. And she posted a video all about her and her collectible and, why she selected this particular collectible. And so far, she has already gotten 152,895 views on this video. Wow. And this is during a holiday season, folks. This is the next planned post for her is going to happen the day after her giant show launches January 2nd. All right. So the first video to date has already gotten, ready for this? 152,895 views. I'm just curious about something. I'm going to refresh it. Let's just see what happens here. So since we've been talking, we've gotten, since I showed that to you just a second ago, we've had almost 100 more views. It went from 895, it went one to 983, and I just refreshed it. And you saw me. So needless to say, her collectibles have been going like hotcakes, and I haven't even looked yet today. I know we flew past, I think, half of them by yesterday, and we're all I can say is if you haven't gotten them yet, you should get them. If you haven't done that yet, I know people are kind of saying, hey, well, let's see what's going to happen. But I've got to tell you, it's just been going crazy. And I will be able to announce in another week our third celebrity. Let's just say this person is involved with one of the Hall of Fames. This person has been involved with one of the Hall of Fames. So just understand, every time we add more celebrities, it gets more people coming to the site, which means more of the collectibles are purchased. Okay? That's what happens. And as we keep on adding celebrities, more of the collectibles are brought up. And we have also begun discussions with some people involved with some very, 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 very big international sports stars. So that's really cool. So everything, and I want to tell you what's one of the important things about this launch, because the Celebrium system is powered by Radatech. Okay, it's powered by Radatech technology. And part of the Radatech technology is the ease of purchase. Now, for those people who are involved with CloudCoin, we are working on a process of working with an international bank who could accept credit card payments or supply a merchant facility. And I'm not going to go any further on that, but why is that significant? Because then the mechanism that we use for Celebriums can be used for CloudCoin. And then it makes it much easier to purchase things. I told you, if you think about how hard it is to purchase like Bitcoin, if you want to buy a Bitcoin, you never heard of a Bitcoin. If all of a sudden you rolled out of bed one day and you all of a sudden heard about Bitcoin. Well, how do you go about buying Bitcoin? Well, first of all, you got to get yourself a wallet. That could be a software wallet or a hardware wallet. And sometimes that's easy to do. Sometimes it's not easy to do. Then the next thing you got to do is you got to join an exchange. And I don't know if any of you tried to join some of these exchanges that have to find out and prove who you are. But, putting your little license up there to show who you are and getting verified, validated. Sometimes it takes days for you to get access to an exchange. Okay, so now it takes days to get access to exchange. Then you got to get money into the exchange, right? You got to get your money in the exchange, and then you got to buy the cryptocurrency, and then you got to get the cryptocurrency out of the exchange and over to your wallet. And then if you want to make money on, maybe you sell your currency, maybe you got to put it back in the exchange, and you got to sell it, and you got to get it's a pain in the you-know-what. Well, how easy it is to get a collectible using the Radatech system. You go to the site, you get an account, which takes about 60 seconds. 60 seconds? Yeah. You get your little wallet. It's right there in the system. And then you buy your collectible. When you buy the collectible, it puts your collectible wherever you want it to go. You can say, yeah, send it to my email address or put it in my wallet. You make your card payment, and you're done. You can buy a collectible in like 2 minutes. That same functionality, when we get everything set, remember, right now, CloudCoin trades on BitShares. So you can still go there and do all that. We got something else cooking right now too. But then when it's easier to purchase CloudCoin, it's going to make a huge difference, or should. But my point is, we've got a technology, a rated tech technology that we have now proven works. And it works really easily. That's part of why it was so important launching Celebrium correctly. Yeah, it took a couple extra months, actually 3 extra months. But we wanted to make sure this technology worked perfectly. And man, it was smooth. Yeah, of course, a couple, 2 or 3 people had some problems because when the email went out, I think there was a activation link. Some people didn't know it could have gone into their spam folder, but that's okay. That's regular stuff. That's regular with any site. But the fluidity and ease of use of the Celebrium purchase platform, perfect. And this is, once again, these are the kind of things that make Ratatech a very, very, very valuable company. And you folks that jumped in there and invested, boy, were you smart. We did close out that investment, by the way. That's done. Pretty smart folks. They're pretty smart folks. Okay, now let's talk about the big surprise. Now, I'm going to take a second or two to explain something. And I know you've been thinking to yourself, why does Bob keep on talking about this high school football team? Well, there's actually a pretty doggone big reason why. Because in the United States of America, there's about 16,000, 17,000 high schools. And many of these high schools are losing, or their budgets are being reduced. Okay? So these high schools have their budgets being reduced. And their sports budgets are being reduced. And their cheerleader budgets are being reduced. And their band budgets are being reduced. So what these high schools are having to do is they're having to go out there and raise money using whatever they can use to raise money. Okay? Some are selling raffle tickets. Some are selling cookies. Some are selling, who the heck? They're doing little car washes. You drive by high schools, see all those guys out there washing cars. There's a lot of things they're doing. But one of the things in the very near future that they're going to be able to do is we will be making available a Celebrium collectibles that are designed for high schools to raise funds. That's right. They can go out and sell collectibles. And these collectibles can involve local athletes, local celebrities. You have a lot of NFL players that we deal with that support high schools. So we have been building up this one big high school in my hometown here in Clearwater. And we've been getting everything set up so when we start running a Celebrium-based fundraising campaign for this high school, it's going to be a sonic boom, because I am telling you now, you would be shocked to find out how many high schools across the United States now know about this high school, Clearwater Academy, because of the football team. There is a method to the madness on why we do certain things. In Canada, virtually every single football player and coach in Canada knows who this team is. Why? Because we have a bunch of Canadian players that have come to play for the school. We've had European players come to play for the school. We've had Samoan players come to play for the school. And this school went from being ranked like 8,000 in the country, which is about in the middle, right there in the middle, to being now ranked 382 in the whole country. It's in the top 2% of the teams in the entire country with an 11-0 record. They've got like 12 players who have received offers for scholarships. Now, we're talking about a small team of 35 players, yet they were achieving results that huge teams don't achieve. They had an 11-0 record. So why are we doing this? Well, I like the team and I like the players, but I always try to have multiple, angles on something. So we're busy making this team really famous, known all over. And just to give you an idea, this is the big Tampa paper. Okay, this is the big Tampa paper. And this article just came out November 1st. It's a huge article. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on, as you can see. It just goes on. And this is all over the place, this article. And look at the headline on this article. Check this out. The headline is "Thinking Globally Leads to Local Dominance for Clearwater Academy." Thinking globally. Well, I'm going to tell you, we are thinking globally. And if you were to talk to any high school player in Canada, they know who we are. If you talk about any high school player in Florida, they know who we are. And when we start talking about raising funds for this school using Celebrium, guess how many of those high schools are going to want to know about how they can get involved? That's right, a whole lot. So to give you an idea, so that was just November 1st, and we've had big articles since. Here's another article. This just came out yesterday. Yesterday was National Signing Day. Now, I just want to give you an idea. Most high schools don't have any players that actually get what are called Division I scholarships. Most high schools. They never have them, right? Never. All right. The big high schools will have at least maybe 2 or 3 big high schools, very successful. We have 2 or 3 people who get Division I scholarships. Our high school is targeted to have 12 Division I scholarships. 12. And that's why it's making the news. Now, here we have a Samoan player who has now, made the big announcement. This is the paper following this. That's his mom. This is Sio. And that's his mom, who flew in for his big announcement that he was playing with Indiana. I just want to tell you that we're talking about colleges that come to the school to meet all our players, like Alabama, Auburn, Texas A&M, Florida, Notre Dame, Oregon, Michigan State, West Virginia, Pittsburgh, just on and on. We had, in the last 6 months, almost 100 college programs visit the school. We also have a pretty cool educational system right here that is fantastic, that really gives our students a big leg up on education. One of the students that were at our school, who is now receiving full scholarship offers, his first 2 years when he was in high school, he didn't play with the Knights. He didn't play for anybody because in his first 2 years, despite the fact that he was incredibly gifted and talented, his first 2 years, his academics were so poor, they wouldn't even let him play on the team. But as a result of this special education technology, this student's now, his GPA over all 4 years is at 3.1. That's like a B+. And he just had an SAT score of 1,220. Now, don't you think all these colleges, when they come see this team, when they meet the coaches, meet the players, they're about to invest anywhere from $150,000 to $250,000 scholarship. They find out everything about what happens with these players, because they're going to a school. There's 35 players at a school that's less than 300 students. It's crazy. They come to this school. They're going, Is this a daycare place? Do we go to the right place? No, you're at the right place. It's a small school, yet it has like 35 players. Half the squad's going to have scholarships. So they want to find out, well, what the heck is going on in this school? They learn about the study technology. They learn about the ethics programs and morals programs that these guys learn and do. They find out that all our players are pretty doggone smart and they act right and they don't get in trouble. And they don't do drugs. And they want to know why, because they want to see maybe this can help their program. So that's one of the things that's happening too. So this is why I want you to understand why I talk about this so much, because I'm going to tell you, we get Celebrium rolling in these schools as a major way to fund it. I just wanted you to understand, when these schools try to raise money through fundraising, they have to pay for inventory. It costs money to even raise money. It costs money to raise money. Whether they're buying, they're buying cookies or they have to pay money to even make money. Well, with Celebrium, they don't pay nothing. And they keep a heck of a lot more money than they do when they sell a bunch of cookies. Okay? So, this is what I'm doing right now because we want to build this team and keep on building it. We need to raise some funds before I launch the Celebrium for the school. I need to get some more funds raised. And we are now going to offer a huge prize. Huge. Okay, what is that? Well, you're looking at the original signed Jenny collectible. Now, we are putting that right there. You're looking at it right now. We're putting that on a gorgeous plaque. And we're taking the certificate of authorization, the original one she signed, and we're putting it on a plaque. And then we're putting a really, really, really nice, thing. I don't even want to read it to you, but it's really kind of cool. And we want to raise a little bit more money, but we only have 10 slots that we're going to do. 10 people will be in the drawing. First of all, when you donate money to Clearwater Academy, and we have specific amounts, not that big, you'll get a ticket in the drawing. And we're going to have 10 slots for the drawing. And we're going to pick one of those 10 people, and then you, if you win, are going to get this. You're going to get one of the world's first digital collectible using counterfeit-proof technology, signed, the original, the actual sign. That's the one she signed. We had her sign a few of these things, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the signed copy and a signed certificate of authentication. And I got to tell you, I just want to say, with this Celebrium and how it's going and blowing and going right now, with such a scarcity of Jenny McCarthy, collectibles available, I think the signed one, the signed certificate, it's going to be, it could be worth a lot. You never know. Never know. Who knows? She'll look good in your wall. So, if you're interested in being one of the 10 people, that donate some money in this program, so we can, help this program. We're going to be launching the Celebrium to raise money for the school. We're going to be doing that, but we want to get the Celebrium launched. But if you want to be one of those 10 people and have a shot at winning the original one, helping kids for Christmas, you saw how happy he looked. Look at the mom. Look at that. She's so happy. He's so happy. There wasn't a chance he was going to get in a high school. Look at it, or a college. There he is. Look what we've done. So I need you to email me at bob@digitalcurrencygrowth.com. bob@digitalcurrencygrowth.com. And they'll give you the guidelines to being one of those 10 folks. One of those 10 is going to win this incredible plaque. Support this program. And if you put your little business cap on, you want to see this program do really super well, because the more people that know about this program, when we launch this fundraiser using Celebrium to raise money for this school and then talk about it, there's going to be thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of schools that know about it. So, it's kind of cool when you can help people, help kids, help people, help families, help schools, and on top of that, help the Celebrium, concept. If you're an owner in DFM, you're probably pretty interested in doing that. You know, because DFM's the sole owner of Celebrium. So if you're an investor in DFM, smart move. So that's it. If you're interested in doing that, if you're interested in becoming involved, I'll send you the instructions. But this has been a huge monumental day with incredible news on the regulatory front. And I tell you what, all signs are very positive. So with that said, let's do our famous drawing. And we're going to be doing the super drawing really soon. So let's go ahead and do our drawing. And here we go. Let's get our little thing up here. And what do we have here? 155. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see who won. Number 136. So whoever is number 136, you have won 5,000 cloud coins, and you're one of the 6 people in the super drawing for even more cloud coins. And once again, I want to stress again, a lot of things we're doing, technically speaking, for Celebrium are using rate